The Banshee. One day in Lake Wales, Florida, everything was fine. Everything was beautiful, just like how it always had been. But that day, everything went wrong. Gray clouds swept in from the ocean, from the Atlantic Ocean. The clouds came rolling in and got darker and darker and darker. The sky soon became very ominous. People started to travel less, and people started bringing their kids inside very early. Soon, a very hard rain began to pour onto the ground, and it became very windy outside. People were not sure what was going on. It wasn't like Lake Wales to become like this, and it wasn't even in the weather forecast. The strange thing was, Winter Haven was beautiful. People started driving over to Winter Haven because Winter Haven was having the beautiful weather. And Lake Wales was pitch black. Some parts were green. People thought that there was going to be a tornado. People started running over to Home Depot and Lowe's and getting their hurricane supplies. The mayor of Lake Wales closed down all the schools in Lake Wales and sent everybody over to Winter Haven and other cities and areas nearby so kids could continue their education. People ended up moving away from Lake Wales for the time so that they could continue their education, get work, and have somewhere to live. David, the dumb one, stayed right where he was, in his home, with his parents and his brother. Unfortunately, this was a poor decision. About a week after the storm came in, the rain just started alternating between light rain and heavy rain. And at 9 o'clock that night, on the night a week from the time that everything started getting worse, a strange howling noise, like a banshee, was heard in the town. And it started going like this. David heard it every night, all night long. It would never end. Sometimes it got pretty loud and he could not sleep. But if you think about it, that is me in the story, but I'm telling it from a different perspective. David had the hardest time sleeping that night away, but the Banshee thankfully did not get so loud that he thought his eardrums were going to pop off. But every morning at 6 a.m., the Banshee would go away. There was one time when David was getting some ice water, and the blinds were open. Right out there was the Banshee wandering around the neighborhood. David flung shut the blinds, hoping the Banshee didn't see him. People that decided to stay in the area were unaware that there was a Banshee hanging around, but it didn't take long for people to completely abandon Lake Wales, especially if a strange howling noise and a strange creature glowing green to make them want to leave. But David was brave, and his family was brave and stayed right where they were. David wasn't sure what was going to happen next. About a week after he first saw the Banshee, he decided that it was time to go outside and face up to it. Once again, a very poor decision. It was midnight when David got up out of bed and went to go face this Banshee on his own. The Banshee was just wandering around doing its thing when it saw David, and it came up to him and asked him, "Why are you here to bother me?" It sounded so awful. David told the Banshee that if it didn't leave soon, then he'd have to do something drastic. The Banshee laughed. "You think you can make me leave? But trust me, I'll do whatever I want." Let this be a final warning. If you ever tell me what to do again, you will regret it. Of course, David made the Banshee really upset, because from this point on, it made the most awful noise ever. And from that point on, when David was asleep, he would hear a Banshee noise like this. And David was thinking, what the burp was that? Soon, there was absolutely no one left in Lake Wales. People even in Winter Haven was starting to hear this noise. David made sure he kept all the doors locked, as this terrible wailing was going around. David went outside and yelled out to the Banshee, "Hey, Banshee, why do you think you can all of a sudden make these horrible noises? I mean, what happened to the original noise you were making?" The Banshee laughed. "It's because I just didn't want to scare you that badly, but now that you were stupid enough to come up to me and tell me what to do, I think it's time to give you a taste of your own medicine." "Oh, that's just great. Thank you, Banshee." "Now leave. I'm really starting to get ticked off here." Sure. That's just nice. David went back inside. Once again, all you could hear is... David could not sleep again. "Mom, Dad, we've got to leave Lake Wales. This Banshee is just driving me insane." "Tell me about it, David. How are we ever going to be able to sleep with that thing hanging around?" Here is what a typical night was like for David. Just imagine David trying to fall asleep at 7 o'clock, and he'd be panicked as he couldn't know when a green glowing figure would pass by his house and then start wailing that into his ears so loud that He thought his eardrums were gonna pop off. Now what was he gonna do? And then, of course, it did show up. And it made the terrible wailing noise. I'm not always gonna do it because I don't want to give you all a headache. But, man, it's terrifying, isn't it? And David would just pull the covers up over him, thinking, oh no, what if it gets in the house? It's already managed to get into other people's homes. But it's probably because they left their doors unlocked and ran off. He would hear the Banshee yelling out, I know you're here somewhere, David. Come out and face the music. I don't know where your house is, but eventually I will find you. I was too afraid to go out. Every time I saw it, I had made sure I got away from my house, so it would never find me. It just saw me on the streets. One day I took some fire up to it and I burned it. I thought I got rid of it. I was like, hee 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 hee. For one night, I did not hear any wailing. And then, of course, the very next day, it's back, isn't it? Just peachy keen. Just peachy keen. I opened the door to see if it truly was there, and it comes right into the house. This is really what you wanted to do to me? And I started to have a fight with it. I was so terrified. This green glowing figure was now in my house. And my parents and my brother were not home. This time I was all on my own. Why are you here so early? And all I could do was, okay, that's not a great answer, but thank you very much for the compliment. Oh, now you don't want to speak to me. Isn't that just great? And I threw fire at it again. Nothing happened. Oh no, what am I gonna do? How about we just make a peace treaty? How's that sound? Okay, maybe no peace treaty. How about we just settle for a Big Mac? Okay, no Big Mac then. What do you want? Nothing? I don't even understand your stupid wailing. You're getting really ridiculous now. Okay. Let's just put it this way. I'm done with you. Get out of my house. The Banshee finally did leave. I studied many books on how to figure out how to get rid of it. One day I was walking down Spook Hill on my way to the library. And of course it's pouring rain out. I went into the trees because I thought I heard something. And sure enough, there it was right there in the trees. And it started wailing at me again. Okay, I didn't exactly want to find you in the trees. I'm out of here. Bye. And I ran off while I heard it still wailing. Getting fainter and fainter and fainter. Thank goodness that I was getting away. I ran to the library. Figures as much as no one there. What am I gonna do? I saw it coming closer. Oh great, it's getting closer and closer. What am I gonna do? Oh dear. I know exactly when to break in, but I have no choice this time as I hear it still approaching and I still see the green figure coming towards me. This is a matter of life and death, so I plunged into the building and let the alarm go off. Woo, 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 woo. But that was still not as terrifying as the terrible wailing right behind me. I quickly found a book. This is it. This is how to get rid of a Banshee. I just plunged water on it. Why didn't I think of that? Wait. That doesn't sound right. Oh, wrong book. No wonder. It says that to fight back a Banshee, you have to yell at it or something. Okay, whatever works. Hey, it worked. The Banshee is running off. It may be going back to Scotland where it belongs. The Banshee was terrified. It was running away. Or what I thought it was doing. It was flying off. But I was free. I was free. The Banshee is gone. A week later, the sun returned to Lake Wales. The rain went away. Everybody came back. I was a hero. And the Banshee was forever gone. And it never came back because I knew its secret. And I knew that fire was the first thing you had to ever do to it. Burn it. But I tell you, never again did I ever want to face a Banshee in my life.